Hey, and welcome to the first episode. I hated that already. I hated that. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm doing great. We're off to a great start. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong.
Everything that could have gone wrong absolutely has gone wrong.
And look, there's a lot of things happening here in today's world, at least for me. I alluded to this a little bit in our pre-show chat, and as well as the pre-show that happens exclusively on twitch.tv. There is like 70 guys 20 feet away from my window building a house, throwing hammers, like things just flying around. It is an active job site, so you can actually hear that, as well as like the 900 dogs in the estate barking.
What makes it worse is you said the framework went up this morning, was it? The day of the pod, these big buff shirtless tradies roll up to Erek's house and start putting up framework for a house. So if you hear nails and hammers and all the other things that real men do with their time.
Yeah, but you know what? We wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, everything literally goes wrong. So, but it just adds, character to the program.
Look, Erek, it has been, do you know how long it's been since we did a podcast? I actually looked it up.
Tell me.
Our last podcast was, if this is technically a continuation of the Everything's Taken podcast, this is episode 14, and the last episode was June 8th, 2018.
Wow, that's like a long time ago.
It doesn't does it feel like it's been 4 years since we sat here with microphones and made a podcast?
You know what? Yes, but no. I mean, the nice cut, by the way. The chemistry that you and I
was waiting for you to notice.
Yeah, I
noticed. Did you see
the
shirt as well?
The chemistry that you and I have straight away is like, we just pick up where we left off. So it doesn't really feel like.
No, it does. It feels great. Did you notice the shirt?
Your shirt?
Yeah.
Yo, what?
I'm sorry. I hate that I'm repping the merch. I love it, actually.
That's great.
All right. We have a big show planned. Let's get on with it. I'm really excited to bring our first guest on. By the way, actually, one thing I'll say, whenever a segment gets old, whenever we get bored of something on this podcast, if we start talking about something and realize that we just want to move on, I can do this. All right, our first guest on the show, if you don't know, we have the valued viewer form where you can fill out to become a valued viewer of the show, of the podcast. There's many things. You can find the link on the Twitch page. There's many things you can tell us, from your special skills to your most embarrassing moments. We have 200 replies. Just shy, but we have almost 200 replies from you guys, and I can't say thank you enough. And it's been a riot. We've been sitting there going through.
Oh man, it's honestly like a goldmine of things. Like, we obviously really appreciate everybody sending everything in, and it's been such a thrill to see everybody's funny stories, whether or not we can get to them on the program.
Some of them we have been dying laughing at, but we definitely can never ever talk about on the show.
I know. But it's great. But yeah, thank you for everybody. We've picked out somebody for this first segment. We're really excited to bring him onto the program. We're going to be playing a little bit of, how would you describe movies and TV trivia?
Yeah, so Ariana, she said her special skill was, I have a knack for remembering movies and shows after seeing them once. According to my husband, I can learn anything. When I saw that, wow, I had so many questions and so many ideas, because even just removing the movies and TV show side of it, I can learn anything is a skill I want to test. And maybe if this skill works out well, the actual skill we're testing, maybe we can get her back on the show to test learning anything.
That would be cool.
But what we want to do is test the movies and TV show side of it. We want to see if we can. Well, let's bring her in, and I'll tell her what we want to do.
Come on down.
Are you there, Ariana?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm here.
Hello,
can you hear
how are
me?
you?
Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear
we
you
can hear you.
great. How are you?
Okay. I'm well, a bit nervous.
Oh my God, we are nervous too.
fine.
We are literally pooping ourselves, as I keep saying.
I am sweating so badly, but you can't see it because I'm blurry, so it's fine.
Thank you for being the first viewer, first guest on the first episode of our new
Aye.
podcast.
Congrats.
Woo!
All right, so you wrote in to say that not only could you learn anything, which I'm already very impressed with, and I want to test that one day, but that you have a knack for remembering movies and shows after seeing them once. When did you discover you had this skill?
Well, it first started with commercials. So my mom banned TV for a while because I would learn the commercials after watching them once. But it wasn't until I met my husband, then boyfriend, who was like, "Can you not just ruin the shows for me, or even the movies?"
Wait, did you say your mom banned TV because you were learning the commercials?
Yeah, so she thought I had watched too much TV.
Well, now I want to test
she
you
was
on
like,
commercials.
Yeah, it's really, I find it funny, but it's also annoying when you have friends and it's like, I don't want to see that. I've seen it already. And they're like, well, tell me, what happens? And I'm like, okay, this happens. Or it's that one movie and all this happens. And they're like, really? And they're like, when did you last see it? I'm like, about 5 years ago. They're like, what?
Wow.
You still remember?
Would you say it's like a photographic memory, or like one of them things where you can you like read a book and then remember that forever?
Not books. They're too not many books anyways. But it's really mostly with videos.
So okay. Well, did you do well in school? Like, if obviously you're like a visual learner, could you?
You're very visual. If it's done in a visual way, I can learn really fast. But if it's really boring, then I suck.
Okay, I need to test this. So we have a game devised where we have a selection of movies and TV shows, and we want to see is it safe to say that if we can give you the basic premise or plot of these movies and TV shows, you'd be able to tell us what the movie and TV show is?
I would say I'm about 85% sure I can.
Okay.
Well, hey, let's start. Let's ease into it. Do you want to do the TV shows and I'll do the movies, Wood, or how do you? Yeah.
Well, I think what we should do is we should pick 5. How do you feel about if you get 4 out of 5, we'll send you a prize?
That would be awesome. But this is fun. My husband keeps telling me this is for fun.
Okay, well, we're going to play a game. If you get 4 out of 5, you win a prize. We actually made something special for this segment, so we're glad you're here. All right, are you ready to start?
You're gonna love it.
I am ready.
All right.
Rihanna, can you name the movies or the TV shows? If you can, you'll win a prize. To be determined. I don't know what it is yet, but you'll get it. My Rihanna.
Yeah, we don't know what the prize is yet. Okay, Eric, do you want to go first?
Yes, I'll go first. So, movies and TV trivia. We're going to start off with a film. We're going to start on the easy mode here. Now, this is a cult classic from the 1980s that stars Kurt Russell as he tries to uncover the mysteries in the underworld beneath Chinatown.
I want to say that's Under or Waterworld.
Is that your final guess? Do you need Eric to repeat it?
Let me word it a little bit differently.
Okay.
Kurt Russell stars in a 1980s cult classic where he uncovers mysteries beneath Chinatown. One would say that they are causing big
It's Big Trouble in China.
You got it.
Nailed it.
Okay, that's one. We might have to do a little bit of coaching on that one.
That's fine.
I'll count it, and I'm happy with it. All right,
job.
I'll take the next one. I'll do a TV show. Okay, how about in a strange twist, it's the teacher that needs to learn from the student in this show that'll keep you on the edge of your seat for 5 seasons.
I don't think the only thing that's coming to mind right now is Assassin's Classroom.
I have never heard of that, which might give you a clue that it is not the answer. I will give you one more
I
guess.
don't think I know this.
I'll give you one more guess because that guess was
Okay.
honestly pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Bad.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Stand By Me.
It's a TV
It's
show.
a TV
Tell
show.
you the-
It's a TV show.
But it's a TV show.
AMC.
Hey, come on now, Eric.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to help.
All right, do you have an answer?
I don't think I've seen it.
The answer was Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
Parts of it.
It's okay. You still got
Yeah.
3
Fair enough.
chances.
We still got some more.
All or nothing now.
Do you want a
Well,
movie or a TV show?
Movie.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll do another 1980s cult classic. It's a movie about a group of kids that eventually find a pirate ship filled with tons of treasure.
It's The Goonies.
Yes, it is. Oh, it's heating up now. All right, you're only going to
Good
get
stuff.
2 more right to win an undetermined prize of which we have not figured out yet. Okay, I'm going to do TV show again because I want you to get one of these.
Okay.
Okay. Set decades in the past, this show focuses around one kid, his friends, and their adventures hanging out in the basement.
Oh, it's Stranger Things.
I'm just getting word
Technically,
from
yeah.
our-
Yeah, technically, yes.
Yeah. Are we gonna count it?
I want to say that, okay, this is a show that was actually aired in the early 2000s, but you are 100% right. That is, I didn't even think about that. That is also a correct answer.
Did I?
These shows have a similar vibe, except mine is a comedy.
Ooh.
It is set. Oh, I can't tell you when it's set.
Let's just say it comes before
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things in
Yeah.
in a timeline.
I don't know.
Do we take Stranger Things? Because it was such a good answer.
You know what?
I'm
Let's-
taking it. We're taking Stranger Things. Okay.
What is it? Now I have to know.
It was that 70s show.
Oh. Oh.
What?
Okay.
What's the... Oh, you don't like that show?
Oh no, I did just my brain would have put. I don't know. Nothing.
All right, well, you
Keep
know what?
going. It's,
You're doing great. You're
doing great.
And
You know
if
what?
I was in your position, my brain would totally be melting down. I wouldn't be able to guess anything. So you're doing really well.
Eric, you want to do the last one? You want to do a movie? So you
Yes.
seem better at movies, Ariana. We should probably keep,
yeah.
we'll keep with movies. This is the last one. If you get this right, we will send you a special prize, which Eric
Okay.
will determine later.
I'll determine later.
You'll determine it
now,
later.
So for our last and final question, a clan of quirky individuals journey through a forgotten Middle Earth to displace a cursed item.
Oh, is that Lord of the Rings?
Yes,
Wow.
it is.
Great job.
We need a sound effect for like an applause, I realize. But hey, good job. You win.
So definitely no, better at movies now.
You are definitely better at movies. I think in the future, when you write down this as a talent, you should probably just write movies.
Specify movies.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sounds good. Well, look, congratulations. You've done really well. And we would love to bring you back on the program to see if we can quiz you on anything else.
Yeah, I want to test what we can make you learn. Like maybe if Eric and I film some like short videos, you make you watch them once and then see how much of the videos you can remember. There's something there, and I'm excited. And you also
Which is,
go on.
it's really funny because I have a bad memory. So,
Probably not the
learning
best
people's
special skill
names,
then.
I have to create mnemonics. I have a bad memory when it's not movies or stuff I see
Do
on
you
TV.
feel like your brain is just, it's filling it up with all these movies and TV shows and it's pushing out anything that's actually relevant and useful?
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You were an awesome first guest. I'm so glad
Yes.
you won. It
Thank
was nice
you.
to meet
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
So yeah,
Well, that worked surprisingly well.
that was fantastic.
That was
flawlessly.
great. All right, we'll have to email her later, get her mailing address for you to figure out that undetermined prize of which we
You know what?
have not
I'll be
yet.
glad. I'll be glad to do.
Okay, great. All
Thank
right,
you.
I'm hitting the big
Yes.
button and we can move on to the next thing. The issue is that this thing I have to work with, it's so cumbersome, and I need to keep switching layers to like do all the different effects that I'm doing, and I keep trying to hit something that's not working. So if you see me stumble, that's what I'm doing. But
It's fine. You're essentially tap dancing.
I'm essentially tap dancing on thin ice, and I feel like every step I'm gonna cave in and plummet. And actually that'd be nice because then I would get freezing cold instead of the sweaty back that I have from nerves.
Yes. Have you ever seen Riverdance?
No, I haven't. Can you explain it to me in a short blurb so I can guess it?
Okay. Riverdance is tap dancing, but in a river. No, I'm just kidding. It's like this really eccentric, like everybody's wearing tights and spandex and doing these like Irish jigs and stuff. I mean, it's totally irrelevant to our program.
Yeah. I've seen that. Is that your story today?
No, it's not my story today, but I do have a really great story.
Okay.
We are at the part of the program here where we are going to recount some stories that have happened in our daily lives, either ongoing or in the past. And I've got a great one.
I can't wait to hear it because I see you've written it on the sheet. Can I read what you've written, or will that ruin it? Or can I let you organically get to that point?
You can read because I've got two to choose from, and it is up to you.
Okay. So we have show notes, and Erek couldn't decide between these two stories. And I got to tell you, I'm liking one way more than the other. One is the Japan Internet Cafe story, which, okay, I'm going to need to hear that at some point. But the other one is that time I went swing dancing with geriatrics.
Hey, man, that title says
Please
it all.
take it away.
So story time. A couple of months after I met my wife, we were just kind of hanging out, just making dinner. We made this elaborate pasta dinner. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you got
Meatballs?
time before, yeah. No, actually, it was like a spaghetti bolognese or something like that. I don't know. It's irrelevant, but I'll tell you what.
I don't care.
Al dente, chef's kiss.
Chef's
Tastes
kiss.
great.
Delicious.
You know,
Maybe that could be the prize we send Ariana. Can you whip some of that up? Mail it.
Hey, she'll probably remember all the ingredients too. Look, in a time before kids, because I've got a 1-year-old kid now, we could just go out and do anything, anytime. Savor those moments, folks, because they are fleeting once you have kids.
I feel like every day counts right now.
Every day, literally, I have another hour until I need to go back to daddy duty. So yeah, we made this fantastic Italian dinner, and just capped off with this fantastic garlic bread. Right?
I love garlic bread.
I can't remember if it was, homemade or made from scratch or.
Kim's been making garlic bread lately, so if we actually get to episode 100 and I'm fat, we know who to blame.
That's why.
It's so good.
Yeah, look, honestly, I can't remember if it was homemade or, maybe we took a cheeky trip down to the supermarket.
Cheeky trip.
Some.
Even the frozen stuff is like some of the best
unreal.
frozen. It's unreal. Oh my God.
So to be more specific, we took a cheeky trip down to the supermarket and got the just for two garlic bread. So it's like a half a loaf, and you can fold it and put it in the oven, and then bring it out 8 minutes later, roughly, or.
Okay, well, this isn't a podcast about how to cook garlic bread. Let's get to the point.
Look, I don't know. Okay, whatever. So this is the one of the only times that I haven't burnt garlic bread, because usually I'm trying to manage all these things, trying to feed a bunch of people, and I'm saying to myself as I'm plating up, "Oh no, I forgot the garlic bread." Anyway, doesn't matter. Pull the garlic bread out of the oven. Wow, it's great. Tastes fantastic. An hour later, we get a call from my wife's grandmother. She's like, "Do you guys want to come dancing? Like, and there's something to do on a Wednesday night." It's like, "What do you mean by dancing?" Well, there's this group down at this recreational center. They do like rock and roll dancing. So if you think of like swing dancing, like people that used to do in the 50s, like dancing to the old rock and roll bands.
How old is this grandma?
She's a young 60 something.
Wow, and she's going rock and roll swing dancing, and inviting you young nipper snappers after eating some garlic bread.
Us young nipper snippers after eating garlic bread.
Yeah, I hoped you wouldn't catch that.
Dude. So anyway, we're like, yeah, you know what the heck, we'll go. So we show up, and this is why in the pre-show document I put swing dancing with geriatrics, because these people, they were like, 50 years our senior, which is
Wow.
fine, but it's like, when you show up, it's like, who are these like preschoolers showing up to rock and roll dance? So it was quite fun. But the reason why I mentioned the Italian dinner,
Oh
is
yeah, I want to
because-
know how these two stories link up.
because when you eat this fantastical Italian dinner,
Oh
right?
god, I don't
and
like where this is going at all.
it's seasoned, you've got the garlic bread and everything, you're bound to, we forgot to brush our teeth before we went. Okay, we forgot to be a little bit hygienic, and we're in close proximity to these people, like swing dancing, arm to arm. And only after we left, we were like, our breath is gotta be terrible, like garlic. So they're probably like, these young kids showed up, they're just disgusting
And stunk
what I
the
mean?
place. You know what's worse too is you kind of sweat that stuff, right? Like when you eat like a big meal like that, you kind of sweat it out too. So you're probably dancing all over the floor, Amber's swinging up over your head and everything, and
Yep.
just garlic is coming out of your mouth, out of your armpits.
I'm literally sweating bolognese sauce as I'm like turning corners with these old people. So it's like,
It's like dripping on the floor. People are slipping up on red sauce.
but you know what? Hopefully they spaghetti about it.
All right. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right.
Moving on.
All right, my turn. I actually, what I'm bringing to the podcast today needs to take a little bit of sleuthing, a little
Okay.
bit of detective work to figure out. Because you ever feel like you're going crazy, and
All the time.
there is just something that you maybe I'll tell you what it is. Okay, I can't even give you an example. There is a Miller Lite brewery. I always struggle to say that word. Can you help me out here, Eric?
Brewery.
Thank you.
Brewery?
You look like a man that has frequented a brewery in his time.
But you know what? I've never been to a brewery. It's the same thing as like people saying library or library.
No, to me,
So-
it's just I struggle to pronounce the word. But it's this big factory where they make the beer. Actually, kind of great because next to it is this bread factory that make bread, and both of those things are very yeasty. So if you're driving past on the freeway and they're both going, you get like hit with like this yeast explosion in your face. It smells delicious. But there is this giant Miller sign that it stands proud. I'm gonna here. I'll show you what it looks like. It's on the screen. It's this giant thing, right? That this shot's taken from like an aerial view, but when you're looking down, it is massive. Like you gotta imagine it's like 15 Ereks lined up. Like that's how big this thing is.
Okay. So because I can't see what's happening on Twitch, can I just indulge here? Does this sign illuminate?
No.
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 So it's not a Miller Light.
Mm. All right, and that's the no. It is a giant sign, right? But every time I drove past it, it was in like a different position. I swear. But I'm new to this place. I haven't lived here my whole life. And when I brought that up to Kim, she said, no, it doesn't move. And I was like, no, it moves. Like every time I drive past this thing, it's like facing a completely different way. But the thing is, it's this massive sign, and you can see there's like a platform underneath. It doesn't actually look like it can rotate at all. But unless I'm going insane, every time I go past it, it is facing a different direction. But Kim swears it's always facing the same direction. I've asked my other friends that live here. Everyone says they either don't know what the sign is or that it doesn't move. They've never seen it move. And I have tried Googling it multiple times and nothing online, no Reddit threads of anyone else asking if this giant sign moves. But I am telling you, it is always in a different place.
Well, it certainly sounds like we need to get to the bottom of it. And by it, I mean, I don't mean a keg. I mean, like the story, like, is there something that we can do to...
Yes, because the factory is 24 hours and you can call them. And I want to call them and I want to ask them. Because this has just been one of them things to me, like the Loch Ness Monster, that I feel like I'm going insane, and everyone else that has lived here their whole lives has this attitude of like, it don't move. No, that's the Miller sign. So let's call him. I want to find out.
Let's do it.
Core Security, how can I help you?
Hi, this is just a random question. You're the big brewery factory that has the giant Miller sign at the front of it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're about to help dispute so many arguments with my wife right now. Does that sign rotate?
Sir,
Yes.
what did you say?
Does the giant red Miller Lite sign, does it rotate? Does it move? Does it change position?
Does the Miller sign move? The red one? Does it rotate? Yes, it does.
Oh, thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You have a wonderful night.
You
Thank you.
too.
Oh my God. Thank you. Oh, round of applause.
Live on air, we have solved a case. Great
I
job.
like how even she works there and she had to ask if the sign moved.
Hey, that was great. I didn't expect you to call them.
Yeah, I
thought
didn't
we-
tell you I was going to call them. Honestly, it said 24 hours, but I wasn't sure if they were actually going to pick up. Dude, I know this is such a small thing to so many people, but we drive past it every day, and it's something that I've... Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
No, I totally understand. It's like, are you living in a simulation? Like, not that I've seen it, but I know the plot. I could probably ask Ariana. Is it the Truman Show? You know what I mean? Like, you're just in this little thing, and people are moving these.
I gotta stop drinking while you're talking. All right, we're gonna move on to the last thing, I think. All right. So, speaking of this, like, thing I have next to me, this monster I have next to me, I'll put a picture of it up on Twitter or Instagram after the show so you know what I'm talking about here. There's so many knobs and dials and buttons and colors, and it took me so long to figure it out. But, Eric, something that I found out was it actually came with a bunch of preset sound effects.
Huh,
Like your
interesting.
standard royalty-free sound effects. Like, for example, Eric, tell me one of your great jokes, one of your classic jokes you've been hitting me with all night.
Classic jokes, man. I've got so many in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
I might just have to go scuba diving.
Why did the actual sound make your joke even cringier?
I don't know.
But there's like 8 or 9 of these programmed in, but it only gives me 3 like things to use, like 3 pages to use. So if I want to start filling these up, and I'm already almost out of room, I have to start deleting these royalty-free ones. But I figure before I delete them, may as well get the most out of them, you know?
Yeah, why not?
So Eric, how about we have people call into the show and tell me a story, any random
Okay.
story, and I will try and heighten their story, make their story better. You can call in with a terrible story, a bad story, a great story, but either way, I will try and make it better with these 8 or 9 sound effects I have to work with.
Okay.
But Eric, while they're calling in, let's
Yes.
run an example so people at home know what we're talking about.
Okay. So you wanted me to
tell me
a
your
joke?
any a joke, a story, just something that I can, heighten, make a little better.
Man, when you put me on the spot, it's really, really difficult. Let's see. Give me a topic. Can you give me a buzzword or something, or
Yeah, garlic bread.
garlic bread?
I
Okay.
don't know why that's in my
So-
head.
So the other night I made garlic bread, and it was burned.
Wait, what was it?
It was burned. I thought you were cheering for the fact that I once again burnt the garlic bread.
No, I mean I was until I found out that it was burnt. So that is an example. You can make the story a little longer. I did put Eric on the spot. Maybe you have a real story you would like to tell us.
Hey, maybe if you're one of the valued viewers that filled out the form, if you want to call in, there was plenty of stories
Yeah,
that we
okay.
would that we would have
Okay.
read on air.
Yeah, but
but
there was a lot of those stories that were not fit for air. So if you're calling in with a story, it can be that kind of story, but you need to use special words, okay? Special nice words.
as one of the famous vines on the internet, watch your profanity.
Hi, who are we talking to?
Talking to Christine. I'm actually CM0011 on Twitch. If you recognize me.
Oh, yes, I do. Of course, I do. Hi, Christine. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great,
great.
now that we got that figured out. I was worried there for a second. Do you
I
have...
was listening to the podcast, waiting for you to get in contact with your intern again.
Look, how's the podcast going as someone who's been watching it live? Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time. I've laughed a lot. I wish you guys could see the chat
Well, we'll see it
because
after.
we've been having a great time over here.
Great.
Do you have a favorite moment? I need this right now.
I love Eric's jokes, honestly. I laugh.
All right, and that's
at the
it from
first
Christine. If we can get the next
Oh.
call. All right, Christine, do you have a story you want to tell me? Oh, wait.
I do.
Before
Yeah.
you tell me the story, God, sorry, Eric. We got to play a little something.
Tell a story to and we'll see if it's good. Oh, now.
Okay.
That's
Any excuse
great.
to
I
make a
love it.
song.
That was Eric's beautiful voice, by the way. I love it. It's so he's pretty self-conscious about it, but I love it.
Okay, can I just preface
No,
really
I-
quickly? So I made that song yesterday. What was like, we've got these royalty-free sound effects, and I was like, all right, any excuse for me to just, fiddle the pink bass over here. So it didn't turn out as good as I wanted to. So I was on the way back from the supermarket yesterday, and I'm actually singing into my phone. So whatever. Go ahead. But thank you.
Honestly, that was a perfect story for your royalty-free sounds, Wood.
I'm doing it.
All right, let's see my story. So, my story is about when we drove one of our grade 12 philosophy teachers crazy by hiding his meter stick.
Ooh, okay, go on then.
So, my grade 12 philosophy teacher, this was many years ago. He used to have a meter stick he loved twisting around while he gave his lectures. And one time he was away and we had a substitute teacher. So we decided to hide his meter stick to see what would happen. And we hid it above the whiteboard where you really could not see it unless you were looking for it. So I think after the weekend, he's looking for his meter stick and he has no idea where it is. And he slowly starts deteriorating throughout class, trying to find this meter stick.
Keep going.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what was going on with him. And by the time he found it, because he finally figured out that we did something. And by the time he finally found it, I think he gave us like a good 5-minute lecture on how much of brats we were. And I think it was the most hilarious thing because I didn't know a man could be so dedicated to his meter stick.
So I guess you could say he felt like he was no longer the ruler of the classroom.
Ah, I love it. Where's the drums?
I'm not getting it.
I think that deserves its own royalty-free sound.
Wait, I did do the drums.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the drums?
I didn't hear
Oh
that.
no!
Oh no, I did
didn't
do
hear
them.
it.
Did you hear the crickets at least?
I heard.
I heard the crickets.
Okay, good. That's the important one. Well, I loved the story, really. I honestly, a part of me felt bad interrupting it because I was so engrossed in what was going to happen.
I had no idea.
Thank you so much, Christine, for calling in. I
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
No
for calling.
problem. Yeah, no
Bye.
problem. You guys are doing great. Love it.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you. I appreciate it. Bye. Okay, before we get the next caller in, did you not hear the sounds? Because I wanted your feedback on how I was doing with them.
I heard some of them.
Look, I only have a few to work with, okay? I have laughter, I have crickets, I have the drums. So,
I mean, look, I'm selective with what I hear to my jokes. If I don't hear laughter, I just keep going. You know what I mean? Like I expect.
let's get the next one and I'll try again. I'll try and do better this time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
who
you.
are we talking to?
I'm Jody, Angel Without Wings on Twitch.
Oh my god, I'm glad that you guys are calling in. It's really nice to finally talk to you both.
Yes, I love the channel, by the way. Huge fan of Woods, Kim. I love how Eric has his name spelled.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks to my parents who are currently watching. So all the credit to all of them.
I love Wood. I
Well,
love
it's
Kim.
unique, and I love uniqueness. So
Love
it's
how
one of
Eric
those
spells
things.
his
You know,
name.
I don't see it spelled like that. So I'm like, wow, that's unique.
Hey, you know what? Let's derail this conversation. Let's talk about my name. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Eric also has a ton of other talents other than the name. But the name is, to me, the most impressive part about Eric. Well, the second most
Absolutely.
impressive part about Eric.
Okay. Anyway,
That's an off-call conversation. Hey, so what have you got for us?
Well, I have a ton of stories, knowing
Oh,
how my
God,
life has
well,
been. What kind of story do you want? Something from school, my military career, being a mom of 3, you name
God.
it.
let's hear the mom of 3 because I'm a new parent. Well, not a new, like I've got a year-old boy.
That's new.
But I would love to
boy.
hear let me hear the parenting stories because I can relate.
Okay, well, my daughter, when she was 4, even though I got her a bunch of Christmas gifts for Christmas and everything else, she still chose me as her Christmas gift and stuck one of her tickets off of her presents onto my forehead. And my husband at the time took a picture of it, and I'm like, oh, that's the cutest thing ever. And then next thing I know, I passed out because of being so exhausted of listening to her asking me questions about Christmas because her birthday's on the 28th, so she thinks Christmas was her birthday. And I'm like, oh, good God. But it's like the best thing ever with her. And then with my 11-year-old now, when he was 2, he decided to cover the kitchen floor in SpaghettiOs and try to eat them all off the floor. So that was fun. Nice cleanup on that one. And then with my 7-year-old Cameron, he likes to do it when he was 3. Sorry to misjumble that. When he was 3, he used to take his toys and stick them in the fridge and play in there all the time. It's a never-ending thing with kids. You imagine they're going to do something, they do it unexpectedly, and I'm like, oh, that was creative. I wish I would have thought of that.
My son is full of surprises. I was on the phone yesterday, and I had to spell out my last name, and he's really talkative for a 1-year-old now, so he's starting to copy what I'm saying and everything. He's just getting really cheeky, and now he knows to open the fridge as well. So like, it's never ending, but it's really fun.
Right. They learn. They're like sponges. They learn by example. They see you doing something once, like with my youngest. I do something and he mimics everything I do. I ask him a question, he gives me a smart ass question of in regards to it. And it's just like, why? I'm like, I need to really rethink of what I'm asking him in the first place to not get those answers.
It's never ending. Well, look, Jody, thank you very much for calling in. I can totally relate to everything, even though my boy's not that old, but I have lots to look forward to.
Hey, look, I just want to say that the whole point of this was to play little sound effects while someone told a story to try and heighten it. But you two just ended up going on a tangent about lovely parent-owning like stories, and I didn't want to interrupt any of them with like stupid. I was just having a nice time.
Hey.
You're good, Wood. Trust me, you can interrupt me with anything because you're amazing. I love you, adore you. I love all the videos. You know, because of you, you helped me build up my Switch library. I've got other people into Switch. And I love your content. My son loves watching you on YouTube and everything else. You know, my youngest does. But it's just one of those things. And I love how the podcast is going. And I can see it succeeding immensely. And I love the logo and everything. You're doing amazing.
Wow, this was just like not even part of the game, just the nicest phone call I've taken in a long time. I appreciate you so much.
All right, no problem, dear.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
She was a delight.
That was fantastic.
Hello?
You're live.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Who are we talking to?
Jesus. That's my name.
Jesus. Nice to meet you.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Wood. Okay, so I'm great. How are y'all guys?
We are fantastic.
I was watching the podcast right now. I thought that was crazy.
Are you having a good time?
I'll tell you I'm having a great time, actually.
Okay, we need so from you, we need a nice, short, concise story. And I'm gonna try and play some sound effects, but we'll see how that goes. Okay?
Yes, sir. All right, I got you. My story is about my first time breaking a bone.
Breaking a what?
A bone.
A bone. Oh God!
Ooh.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. So basically, I was about 6, and my brother was 10. We got our first ever Tony Hawk skateboard. That was pretty cool, you know. And we decided to go down this massive hill, thinking we're like pro skaters. And I did it. I made it all the way down the hill, right? And once at the bottom, I did it so perfectly and smoothly. A little pebble just stopped me immediately. And right when I hit that pebble, I flew 6 feet off my board. And instead of doing like a roll or anything, or just like balling up, I put my hand out just to try catching myself. Don't ever do that. Like, not a smart idea. And when I did it, my hand hit the pavement first, and my bone just popped out. And it was scary because you know that. Have you ever watched WWE, like the wrestlers, right? That one guy that put a sock on his arm, like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mick
that's how my
Foley.
hand looked like.
Oh God.
And it was so bad. And I was just like sitting there, like, okay, this happened. And my brother was just freaking out, and we were just both freaking out the whole entire time.
That.
And long story short, it was like a hard way to explain to a doctor what happened.
Okay.
But
Just tell them you went hands-on with your skateboard.
Yeah.
Look, I that actually reminds me of a story. If I can tell you it real quick, if you're okay with that, can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sound effect myself because my story's great.
That would be rude.
My story's already great. Yeah, that would be rude. No, so when I was a kid, me and my friend, we used to ride our bike everywhere. As obviously you can see the connection here. We were riding down this hill, like really super fast. And at the end of it, like all the way at the end, if you can like picture yourself in a movie, the camera zooms all the way to the end. We both spot this orange traffic cone. And my friend looks at me and he's like, watch this. And he starts pedaling as fast as he can. And as he gets to this cone, he sticks his leg out because he's going to try and like leg sweep the cone.
Oh no.
He hits it and he swings around and like flips in the air and comes down. The cone goes flying, revealing a giant metal pole that the cone was cemented into the ground. Dude, the bike was messed up. His leg was messed up. It was gnarly, for lack of a better biking term. Yeah, your story reminded me of that. Man, that was a good day, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Hey, thank you so much
well,
for
thank you
calling
for letting me on the show, man. That was amazing. I love your videos, Wood.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you calling
crazy.
in.
This feels unreal. I'm sorry. It's just like my heart is like racing right now.
My heart's racing too. Honestly, meeting you and everyone else today has been as exciting and nerve-wracking for me as it has been for you, I'm sure.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. We'll end it there for the calls. So if anyone was waiting, we apologize. It was great. But we're going to do this again. This game, we can play it another time. You know what I'll do next time, though, Eric? I think I want to play this again, but I'm going to find royalty-free sounds, and I'm going to put them in because I really used all the ones I have, and I thought I would be able to spread them out and use them more universally. But all I have is a laugh track and I don't know why I thought I'd have sounds for every occasion. And the one sound that I couldn't find a place to use, I could have just done that at the start of every story, I guess.
A brand new story brought to you by...
You know what? I'll use it to fade into the last part. Okay. Bye. All right. So we did at the top of the show, we were supposed to talk about something that we breezed past and forgot.
Yeah. So look, you've noticed that Wood and I both are handsome,
young, fit, sleek, athletic, fast on the field if we were to run, which we don't.
Honestly, there's not enough.
Do you want to see me run like from here to there? I'm so fast now.
Wait, did you just went there?
I went and came back. That's how athletic. Do you want to do it? There you went.
Unbelievable.
All right, whatever. What were you saying?
Unbelievable. Anyway, we're alluding to the fact that Wood and I have essentially swapped.
Have we? Have we really?
We swapped places. Wood lives in the United States. I live in Australia.
Well, that was always something that we like to joke about because literally I moved here like almost to the day that you moved down to Australia. In
Pretty
fact,
much.
we both, and I'm now wondering why you were there. Probably for Amber. But we both
Yeah.
went to the U.S. Embassy in Melbourne together when I got my 6-month visa to America, and she got her 6-month visa to America to come visit you. But at that point, you were pretty much already living there or thinking about living there.
Yeah. So look, I was on a working visa, which was set to expire in a couple of weeks. So that I went back home. I'm originally from upstate New York. Shout out Central Square, New York.
Shout out to Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. I was actually born in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Actually,
I know.
That's why I'm so darn sweet. I know.
Oh,
It's
so
so funny.
Chocolatey and buttery.
Man, I'm just such a funny guy.
And so handsome. Did we mention that?
It's unbelievable how good looking
It's
I am.
unbelievable. Either because you were born in Hershey, or maybe it was just, something in your genes, but it impresses me every damn day.
Hey, look, anyway. So
Look, I don't want to move past it that quickly. You are very, very handsome.
No. My ego's going to get more bigger than this
All right,
frame
move
can
on.
handle.
Move on.
Anyway, so look, at one point in time, you and I did exist in the same room. We have actually met.
Yeah, I got a picture of it. You want to see?
Can we bring up the photos? Although I can't see, I know what you're bringing.
This is the one of us pointing at the camera together.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yes.
But I love it. I love it and I hate it.
That was the day that we went to the U.S. Embassy in St. Kilda.
Wow. Yeah, no, we went there together so I could get my visa, and that was the visa I got that I went with and never came back.
You're still on it.
And I've transferred to a couple different ones to be here at this point. But,
bounced around.
and you were helping Amber, figure that out. So that was really the day that was like really the last day we hung out in real life, and then went on these very separate paths. And then, we started a podcast pretty soon after that, and then we stopped doing the podcast. If we even get through like 13 weeks of this podcast, we will have done more episodes than we did on our old one.
Absolutely.
And our
That's
old
the
one
benchmark.
was 2018, like we said. So I was actually getting those numbers together today, and I started to think, why were we so adamant on keeping the name?
Well, originally, the name Everything's Taken derives from the fact that every name.
Yeah,
we
I
had
do
come up with
love the name.
was taken, and I mean,
But it's like we were holding on to it still, almost like there were people that were like, oh, it's coming back. There was 13 episodes 4 years ago.
it's funny because I'm sure that there's people out there who want to name their podcast Everything's, but it's like, oh no, Everything's Taken.
I had to do another one for that. That was actually pretty good.
Why not?
I got another picture of us too, but I think what I hate about this one the most is my stance. Like I have some weird like duck foot stance. My hair looks great. My foot just looks long and weird. I don't know what it is about the perspective. We're also doing the whose post was that? Johnny Millennium. The Johnny Millennium back to you guys pose, which we loved doing all the time. I think we used to, that was an ongoing joke we had on our videos and our podcast. It was back to you guys.
Yep.
But I also have this photo, which you pulled. I don't know why you wanted to show this one.
I don't know, because when we first met, both of our YouTube channels were fledgling at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do like an interview with Wood, the game hunter down under kind of deal, because at that point you were doing like game chasing videos in Adelaide.
Yeah.
So I took an 8-hour bus trip over to Adelaide, and we did this whole like Predator scene where,
we should pull that up at some point, but we were like walking together, and then we like grabbed hands and explosion. It's funny looking at even that image now and seeing the American flag under you and the Australian flag under me, because not that I feel like not an Australian, but I've been here so long that I've more than gotten used to it. Like I feel like I live in America. I feel like America has become my country at some point. I'm invested in, everything about it. Its economy, like this is where I live and this is where I'm going to be living. And seeing me next to an Australian flag now, it's kind of surreal.
Doesn't make sense.
And seeing you next to an American flag, I honestly kind of don't even see you as an American anymore, because I know that you've been living there for so long.
Literally, I've been here for most of my adult life. Like I'm closer to 30 now than I was.
That's what I was saying to Kim.
then.
Literally 2 days ago in the car, I was like, I've been here so long that even though I know the first 25 years of my life is a longer period, so much of that you don't remember. Up until 10, it's all a blur. You know,
Yeah, I know.
10 to 15, 16 is like my childhood, really, where I remember the cartoons, and that's really all I remember is playing games and cartoons. It's not like I ever went outside and did anything. I didn't have a car, I didn't have friends. What would I be doing outside? So it was really like 16, I guess, to like my early 20s that I lived in Australia, and I have recollection of doing things in Australia. But then from like 23 to like 30, I've been here making memories. I honestly feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm flipping over already into having more memories, more experiences, more real-world, tangible things have happened to me in this country. Yeah. And I honestly, like, that Australia side of me feels really lost in a way.
And it's funny because, like, it's such a niche conversation that you and I can be having right now. That's probably interesting for everybody listening to the program right now. Like, I had the same shared experiences as you. I mean, I met my wife here. I like, we had our child here, like, who will be a dual citizen.
Yeah, that's huge for you. You have an Australian
like,
kid.
Yeah, I know. Like, he's an Oz American.
Whoa.
I
mean, but he's always going to see himself as Australian, and you have that. You have an Australian kid.
I know. It's
unreal.
Surreal. It's unbelievable. And you know what? He's going to call you Uncle Wood.
Oh, God. I actually kind of like that.
Hey, it's got a good ring to it.
Yeah, no, we definitely switched places, but, you know, and I miss you. I miss hanging out with you. I really hope one day we can do this podcast together in person, you know, and it'll happen. You know, it'll happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got aspirations to go over there and catch up with family. I mean, you know, the world climate has changed since we've last done our podcast. So, you know, I've got to bring my son over to the US. You and I got to catch up. We've got to do, you know, podcasts. I would love to do it in the same room as you, obviously, so we can avoid all these technical difficulties.
That would be great. If we could have me being nice and clear on the screen, as well as you not looking like a 480 rip of a YouTube video from 2006, that would be good too.
But you know what? It's endearing. It adds character.
It's endearing. It does. And one last thing I want to say before we wrap up the show today. We touched on the merch, but I have a little surprise that even Erek doesn't know about.
Uh-oh.
The merch is the Beat 'em Ups mug and the Beat 'em Ups shirt. But for a limited time, we are... How do I phrase this? There is a gold version of the mug. A limited edition gold version of the Wooden Erek mug. You can't buy it. It will be randomly sent to someone who buys a mug. If you get the limited gold mug, Erek, are you loving this so far?
I'm just so blown away that I'm not like, I want the gold mug too.
I want the gold mug as well, but I said, because the guy making the merch said, do you want to be sent a gold mug? And I said, no, I want there to be only one. So there will only ever be one. A valued viewer of the podcast will own it. And if you get sent that mug, it is actually your exclusive pass to joining us for a pre-show and post-show before we go live. And you get to sit in an entire episode of the show with us.
This is so unbelievably well thought out. Like,
I know. I've been keeping it secret this whole time.
I cannot believe, like, I would have, if it were me, I would have told you already by now.
Yeah, it was hard to keep it secret. Honestly, it was hard to even keep the fact that I had the mug and shirt already secret, because you didn't know about that till we went live.
Well, hey, you know what? Even if you told me there was a mug and shirt, it would take like 6 years.
Yeah, I am having you sent one, and it's taking a long time, but you will eventually have your own mug. And if everyone wants to support the podcast moving forward, you can drink out of your mugs while you watch the show, and one lucky person will win a gold mug. I'm excited, and good luck.
Good luck.
All right. Well, you got to get to work figuring out what that prize is for Ariana. So I know.
Hey, I've got a busy afternoon.
Very busy. So how about we go ahead and end this bad boy? What a great first episode.
Yes. Thanks very much. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We should have
just ended it. It went well.
Thanks very much.
It went well. Let's not drag it out. Let's just end it. I had a great time, and we'll see you guys next week. I love you all. Bye-bye. I have the royalty-free ones up. Of course, it ends on a technical issue. All right, bye.
Very fitting.